Ever since I was 5 years old, I've been obsessed with movies. Now, I bust the bad ones in the name of angry fanboys everywhere. My legion cries out yet again for me to take out a specific film. No time to waste. On your marks, get set, go! In a world of uncertainty, where movie theaters are plagued by remakes and sequels, in a world where big-budget movies can still suck, in this world we have the Blockbuster Buster.
Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. I'm ERod, and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. There are good movies, and then there are great movies. The type of films that change the landscape of filmmaking. And one of the few films from our generation that falls under that category is The Matrix. Not only is The Matrix one of my all-time favorite films, but it propelled the directors, the Wachowski brothers, into superstardom. And us film buffs are eagerly awaiting to find out what was going to be their next project. And in the spring of 2008, it was finally announced that Wachowski's next movie was going to be Speed Racer! Speed Racer. Huh. Based on the Japanese cartoon from the 60s, Speed Racer followed the adventures of a stunt driver whose name was literally Speed Racer. Now, if that doesn't set the tone for this show, I don't know what does. And no, I'm not a fan. I just find this show to be completely asinine. The dialogue is horrible, the plots are idiotic, and the animation, yeah, that sucks too. Now, I know there are a lot of fans out there, so in the interest of fairness, I spoke to one of the fans, who happens to be my father. And I asked him flat out why he liked this show. Now, according to him, when he was my age, this was the only cartoon on TV that was a straight-up action show, and that everybody watched it to see the real star of the show, the Mach 5. The Mach 5 is Speed Racer's car, and it is one of those legendary fictional vehicles that hardcore fanboys wish they could have, right up there with the Batmobile and the DeLorean. So in honor of all you Speed Racer fans out there, I will do the rest of my opening monologue to the style of Speed Racer. If you like adventure and excitement, get ready for a technicolor menagerie of racing fun. Oh. As we take a look at the legendary Wachowski brothers follow-up to the Matrix trilogy, Speed Racer. Oh. So our movie begins with Speed Racer getting psyched up before a race, and I guess we're having a flashback now. Okay. So Speed is in school daydreaming about being a race car driver and... Whoa, Speed, wake up. Every time I daydream in school, the same thing happens. So Speed gets called to the principal's office and we're back in the present. Okay. So we meet the rest of the Racer family, including Speed's parents, played by the ultra-talented John Goodman and Susan Sarandon, as Mom and Pop Racer. Yeah, nearly every character in this movie has a literal name, and if I were to stop to make fun of every single one of them, we would be here for hours. We also meet Speed's girlfriend, Trixie, played by the beautiful Christina Ricci, who... Another flashback? So you're flashing back to show us that Trixie likes Speed. You know, Christina Ricci's a pretty good actress. We can tell that she likes him by the way she's looking at him. So we flash back again to Pop's garage where he builds all the race cars. And Speed brings him a present from a fan, but it's a bomb, so Speed's brother gets rid of it and blows up. Holy shit! You know, just because the movie's called Speed Racer doesn't mean that the pacing has to move at breakneck speed. Now, could we please get back to the race? Thank you. So Speed gets ready to race, and damn it! WTF, mofo, what is the deal with the 101 flashbacks? Who wrote this script, Steven Summers? So we flash back, yet again, to find out that Speed's brother, Rex, died in a wreck during a very dangerous race. Okay, did everybody get that? Good. Now, could we please get back to the race? All I want to see is the race! I can't handle this! Make it stop! Oh god! I think I'm gonna hurt! of you are wondering if the cartoon had any of this technicolor bullshit that would leave Joel Schumacher hot and bothered. And the answer is no! The races and the action sequences in the cartoon were very fluid and easy to follow. They in no way resembled the 60s acid trip we just witnessed. So we cut to the Racer family home, where we finally get to calmly meet the characters, and they're all very interesting and colorful, except for one, Speed Racer! So actor Emil Hirsch makes up for his lack of personality by being overly dramatic and insidiously intense.
Pass me the salt. Mom, these pancakes are delicious.
Now, as crappy as Emil's performance is, it and every other fault in this movie pales in comparison to Speed's little brother, Spritle. Fuck that fucking kid. I'm usually opposed to any kind of violence towards children in movies, but this kid deserves a face full of fists. I swear, he makes Justin Deaver look like Haley Joel Osment. And for those of you who are wondering why the Racer family has a monkey at their breakfast table, well, apparently it was trendy in the 60s to hang out with monkeys. Even the Super Friends and Clint Eastwood were doing it. And why did people think this was cool? Probably for the same reason that teenage girls nowadays think it's cool to have a little dog poop in their purse. So the Racer family gets a visit from Mr. Royalton.
Evil is his one and only name.
Now Mr. Royalton wants to be Speed's racing sponsor. But in spite of the fact that he was preceded by an earthquake and he is obviously the fucking bad guy, the Racer family decides to listen to his pitch. Now at this point, a lot of you are probably wondering why the backgrounds in this movie look like something a Crayola box puked up. And the reason for that is that 90% of this movie was shot in front of a green screen. And yes, I know that it's more expensive to shoot a movie this way, but as the great Dolly Parton once said, it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. Mr. Royalton tries to convince Speed to sign with his company by showing his family his assets and some stuff. Who designed this building, Willy Wonka? Speed thinks about it and fuck that fucking kid! So we come to a gangster's mobile office, which is being driven by Boy George for some reason, where one of Speed's fellow racers, Taijio Togokan, is being tortured. Now, I don't speak Japanese, but I wouldn't be surprised if his name translated to Red Highlights. Thankfully, Taijio is rescued by the Superfly motherfucker is none other than Racer X, the most popular character from the cartoon, who is there to recruit Taijio to help him bring down Royalton. Now, everybody and their mom knows that Racer X is actually Speed's brother, Rex. So, wait a minute. He wanted to hide his identity, so he changed his name from Rex Racer to Racer X?
That was really stupid.
Meanwhile, Speed and Trixie are having an intimate moment and fuck it, just skip it! The next day, Speed goes to turn down Mr. Royalton, but he just laughs in Speed's face and reveals to him that all the races, including the Grand Prix, are fixed, and if Speed ever wants to win again, he has to sign with them.
But no matter how well you drive, you won't win, you won't place. I guarantee you right now, you won't even finish the race.
Wow, this is a truly intense moment. I hope nothing idiotically goofy ruins it. Fuck that fucking kid! Just like Mr. Royalton predicted, Speed loses his next race. However, he receives some sage-like advice from... Damn right. He also gets a few words of wisdom from his mother.
Speed, when I watch you do some of the things you do, I feel like I'm watching someone paint or make music. I go to the races to watch you make art, and it's beautiful.
Nothing could ever tarnish this performance. Fuck that fucking kid! Racer X and Inspector Detector. I know he has a dumb name, just go with it. Visit the Racer family to recruit Speed to help them take down Royalton. Unfortunately, all the racers other than X, Taijio, and Speed are working for Royalton and are out to kill them. But Speed saves the day by... what?
You cannot change the laws of physics, I told him, but he wouldn't believe me.
Thanks to Speed's gravity-defying car, the good guys win the race. This doesn't sit well with Royalton, so he sends ninjas to kill them in their sleep. Speed holds its own pretty well and... God, I hate that kid. Now, while the first half of this scene is ruined by the little idiot, the end half is saved by what could possibly be one of the most badass moments in film history. Warning, seeing it might just melt your face. Viewer discretion is advised. fucks with John Goodman.
Terrible what passes for a ninja these days.
Tell me about it. Unfortunately, Taijo was poisoned by one of the ninjas and he is in no condition to race. So their big plan is to have Trixie take his place. Since when is Trixie a racer? Alright, fuck it. Maybe she can help them by getting into trouble. Progressive.
Better than being a girl.
Speed saves Trixie by murdering her attacker in cold blood?
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
Thanks to Speed's finishing maneuver, our heroes are now on the lead. Unfortunately, they are ambushed by Royalton's goons. But it's okay, they're saved by the monkey throwing his shit at the bad guy's face. Too easy. Afterwards, our heroes engage in a very familiar fight scene.
Power Rangers! Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
So Speed goes on to help Taijo win the race, but not before posing like the opening of the cartoon, for no good reason. Sadly, it turns out that Taijo was playing them all for saps, as him winning the race increased the value of his sponsor's stock, and he sold it to Royalton. Oh, I'm sure all the children that saw this movie could follow that plotline.
I finally got a brother!
Later, Speed kicks himself for falling for Taijo's ruse. X tries to console him when Speed asks him point blank if he is his brother in disguise. X takes off his mask to reveal that he is not Rex. Now that's a cool plot twist. At least they didn't use a stupid soap opera story device where it's still Rex but he had plastic surgery so nobody could recognize him. All hope is lost until Taijo's sister gives Speed an invitation to compete in the Grand Prix to make up for her brother's deception. Unfortunately, they don't have a race car, so they build one. So 5 people, a kid with ADD, and a monkey, build a race car stocked full of James Bond gadgets in less than 48 hours?
This doesn't make a lick of sense.
In spite of Royalton's boisterous protest, Speed enters the race, but Royalton gets one of his racers to cripple Speed's car. Speed goes on to fix his car by using magic? Unfortunately, Speed is too far behind in the race and there is no way he can— Oh my god, not again! Jesus, save me! The Spirit of the Lord compels you! The Spirit of the Lord compels you!
Fuck, man, I think this shit just kicked in.
Okay. So Speed wins the race. Good for him. He kisses Trixie. Good for her. And they live happily ever— Fuck that fucking kid! This movie is half crappy. Racer X comes on strong at the beginning and then does nothing in the end. Peter Fernandez, the voice of Speed Racer, has a cameo but never interacts with Emil Hirsch. And on top of all that, Speed has no competition on the racetrack. There is not a single racer in this movie that comes up to Speed's level, so you never have any doubt that he's going to win. But honestly, I could ignore this movie if it hadn't been directed by the Wachowski brothers. But honestly, it seems like it was directed by a 10-year-old with ADD hyped on caffeine.
Man, check.
So that was one busted, thousands more to go. I'm ERod, and I'm the Blockbuster Buster.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone.
Check out my website, suckers!